Hey, it's Sly King from Hot 1077, and I am really excited to be working with such an absolutely great organization, Legacy of Hope. August is National Minority Donor Awareness Month. Really excited to be talking to somebody that I know very well, producer, drummer, and a songwriter, man, just an absolutely amazing individual. PJ Spraggins is joining me. And so PJ, first and foremost, man, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And I'm really excited to be with you and get a chance to really hear your story, man.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, absolutely. So let's jump right into it. PJ, I want to talk about, when it comes to you and your wife and the love that you all have for each other, you made a very, very major sacrifice. It's one thing to say you love somebody, but to do something to the level of what you did. Let's talk about that for a moment. When did you know that, you were going to have to make this kind of decision for your wife?
My wife, Tracy, she was diagnosed with lupus at a very young age. I believe she told me she was 8 years old when she was diagnosed with lupus. And all through that time, she had been in and out of the hospital dealing with flares from lupus and everything. The year 2000 is when I actually first met Tracy. So we just talked on the phone for a couple of weeks, and we actually made a date, and things started getting serious, and I was like, okay, I think this is the one. So fast forward, 3 years, we got married in 2003. The thing is that she was also still at that time dealing with lupus flares. And it eventually got to the point where it affected her kidney functions. And that was in 2013 when she found out that it was gonna basically make her kidney stop working. I'll get tested. I'm probably not a match because it's just 1 in a billion chance that I'm a match for her. So I think about 4 weeks passed and they called me and the lady sounded all chipper and happy. I was like, hey, so you got the results? She was like, yes, you're a perfect match. I was like, are you serious? She was like, yes, you're a perfect match. You just have to lose a certain amount of weight. Because I was, my weight was high at the time. So my blood pressure was running high. And I did it the old school way. You had to work out, sweat, back up from the table, of course. Did that, and I think about 2 months went by. I lost the 30 pounds, got retested. They said my blood pressure was still too high for them to do. They told me I need to lose another, I think 20 pounds, I believe. Tracy, she started dialysis and she was on peritoneal dialysis for a total of 11 months. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I'm still working out, trying to get to where I need to get weight-wise and get my blood pressure numbers down. We went to Vanderbilt in Tennessee. And by that time, I had lost right at 80 pounds at that time. When we got there, went through the process at Vanderbilt, they said, everything looks good. The best feeling in the world was when I woke up from that surgery. The first thing I asked was, how's Tracy? How's she doing? How's she doing? Mm-hmm. And they said, she's doing fine. The surgery went great. I kid you not. It was the best feeling in the world that I was able to help my wife, get better.
Let me ask you this, PJ, what would you say to someone who is, thinking about registering to be a donor, maybe an eye donor or a tissue donor, and maybe there's reservation?
I would say do your research. One thing that really stands out to me, because I had signed up to be an organ donor on my license, like maybe 5 years prior to all this happening. Because I just felt like what when I'm gone, maybe somebody else can benefit from something that was in my body. So it's cool to sign up to be an organ donor, because once you're gone, you're not going to need it anymore. If you want to be a living donor, do your research. That's something that I had to do, especially being a Black man. Once I started doing research, the only instances of organ donation I saw, I would say 97% of the research I saw was Black females donating to Black males. I think I only found one instance of a Black man donating to another person.
PJ, your story, your wife Tracy, and you all just making that sacrifice that you made to better her life, and in turn better your life, and the collective union of your lives together is just a blessing, and just grateful that God has allowed you all to really share this testimony, if you will, to others to hear the impact that being an organ donor has made to her life and to yours. And so thank you so much for joining us, and super excited about this month, because I truly believe hearing your story will help others understand the importance of why being an organ donor is so vital at this National Minority Donor Awareness Month, and the awareness that it brings to this very important conversation. You can get more information as well. All you need to know about that can be found at legacyofhope.org. Make sure you go there. And if you're considering being an organ donor, they'll be able to reach out to you as well, but you get all the information you need there. So go out to legacyofhope.org for more information. Once again, I'm Sly King from Hot 107.7. I want to thank PJ Spraggins for joining me. Excited about celebrating this amazing month as we celebrate National Minority Donor Awareness Month. Thank you all so much for joining us. Y'all take care. We'll see you later.
Peace.